Buzzwords you want to throw my way? That's not that. And I don't have enough time. It would be nice to get a hold of the superior. They don't find me out. We'd have $200 in there. I think you're right. I don't want to wait.
You guys sit there and I'll. get what you wanted? I don't know, do we need this? Probably. Well, thanks everybody for being here today. Obviously, you know why we're here. It was not a real well-kept secret, but something that, going back to the beginnings of the Las Vegas Ballpark and the planning stages, we talked about being a baseball facility, not just for the Pacific Coast League games that we play in every year, but for anything we could get involved in. And I think we've really delivered this year. We've had the high school state championships here. We had the American Legion state championships here. We burned the building in with a couple of JV high school baseball games. Obviously, coming into the day, we've played 63 PCL games here. And obviously you know that this year's been fantastic from just a support standpoint. Everything that's gone on here at Las Vegas Ballpark, you know, we all knew it was going to be good. I had no idea it was going to be this good. And it's our staff, everybody's here today. If you know, they're responsible for all this. They've done an incredible job and maintaining it. You know, now that it's hot and everything, you see what we had last night, 9,000 people turn out on a Sunday night. This place is great. And the next extension of that is having this Ephesus Sports Lighting stepped up to sponsor the AAA National Championship game. They're doing it this year, which is in Memphis, 17th of September. Next year, the 22nd of September, here at Las Vegas Ballpark. Some people here I wanted to acknowledge from our ownership group at the Howard Hughes Corporation. Chief Legal Officer Peter Riley is here. He's in from Dallas. Tom Warden, what's your title? We call him Howie. His nickname around here is Howie because he's the, that'll do. But Tom, the government affairs, Melissa Warren, who helps us out with all our PR efforts here. But I've got some people here that I want to bring to the podium and let them say a few words that are been instrumental in so much about what minor league baseball is in this country. And nobody more important for our industry, and honestly, the way that he's embraced all of us as a leader and a friend. Pat O'Connor's been the president of minor league baseball since we really started the push to get this stadium done here in Las Vegas. And without his support and help and always being there when we needed him, we couldn't have got it done. So, Pat, please.
Thank you. Well, it's a pleasure to be back in Las Vegas. And every time I come back to a new ballpark, it's nice to see it mature, see the little things come together. And as Don indicated, this ballpark has exceeded expectations, if that's possible. The bar was set pretty high, and Peter, to the ownership group, congratulations on a great job. To Don and his staff for putting on a first-class operation, as we knew they would. When you have great people and you give them good tools, they do great things, and that's what you're seeing with the Aviators this summer. But it also leads to what Don alluded to, and that is to showcase not only Las Vegas and not only this ballpark and the ownership group and the operation, but minor league baseball on a national stage. And I'd like to thank Ephesus for stepping up and being the title sponsor, presenting sponsor for this game. This is our jewel event, one of the jewel events, and it is AAA baseballs, but as any good minor league guy does, I steal ideas and coattail whenever I can. And we have adopted this all across minor league baseball as a jewel event. And my hat goes off to Randy Mobley and Branch Rickey for leading their leagues to this point with this game. It's a staple. It's our last game every year, and what a way to finish. So we're very excited about this. I'd like to thank the people of Summerlin and Las Vegas, LVCVA, for all they've done throughout the years. But Las Vegas is back in the game, as Don Logan likes to remind me. And we're very happy to be a part of what's happening here on a regular basis, and we really look forward to coming back September 22nd of next year for the national championship game. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Pat. One of the other gentlemen up here, I think you all know, he's been instrumental as well through the years. He's a stay-the-course kind of guy. His family lineage is probably unlike any that we certainly have in the game today. But Branch Rickey, the president of Pacific Coast League, he's been a supporter of Las Vegas, a supporter of ours, a dear friend of this community, a good friend of the LVCVA through the years, and without him, we wouldn't be sitting here today. So, Branch, please.
Pat said it all and said it very eloquently, but I'll chime in just a few words. I was out here last night, and it's the first time I've been back here since opening night. And as I sat here and took in the ball game, I kicked myself. As president of the Pacific Coast League, I kicked myself for not having come back here sooner. I can't tell you that there's a place that I can go in the Pacific Coast League that I enjoy baseball more than this ballpark. This is really a dream come true. You can't help but come to Las Vegas and be reminded of that wonderful slogan that's been coined, "What happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas." But I can tell you that it isn't staying in Las Vegas in the Pacific Coast League. This is resonating everywhere I go in the Pacific Coast League, talk to the managers and the coaches and the players and fans that have come here. This is resonating throughout the league. Everyone is talking about the Las Vegas Ballpark and what has happened here, what has happened to baseball in Southern Nevada. This event that Pat has said is the culmination of our season, that the International League and the Pacific Coast League have gotten together on, is a peculiar event. It's peculiar. We did celebrate the AAA World Series here some years ago in 1998, 99, and 2000, and then came up with this one game, winner takes all. And I think initially there was some skepticism about, is this really the right way to finish the season? Well, what we found out and what has become evident to me as someone who keenly watches the managers and the players and the coaches, as you get to the championship, after you get by September 1st, and we've had the call-ups of the players going to the big leagues, and some of your top players going to the big leagues, and you have the playoffs, and then you have the league championships. And some of the players are worn down by the long season, and now you have that championship. You get to the final event. When you get to this one-game playoff, all of a sudden, there is a re-energizing, and you come to this one-game shootout, and everybody just gets perked up. And so this event, when you see the players come to the field and hear them talking about it, there is it's become the Super Bowl of AAA baseball. And it is exciting, it's fun, and we are really, really pleased to put it in front of the fans. And having a year to promote it and having a full stadium as we have come to have with these events, it really has become a wonderful event. So we're so grateful to have our best ballpark in the Pacific Coast League. I won't say that it's our best ballpark in all of AAA baseball, but to have Ephesus step forward and continue to be our title sponsor for this is wonderful. And we're so glad to have Mr. Logan and his staff take charge of this and be hosting this for us. So thank you all.
He told me he was going to do 30 seconds, so that's 30 seconds in Branch speak right there, but thank you very much. You know, one of the things Branch alluded to, as did Pat, is that the alliance at AAA baseball is really the strongest throughout our industry, and it started many years ago. Talked about the AAA World Series that we had here. That even goes back to the early 90s when we had an event in Louisville, I believe, and you know, the two leagues really, you know, were the top level before the major leagues. We're in most of our cities are major league cities in other sports or have other major league sports in them. So, you know, these are not second-tier cities. We're top-tier cities, and having the foresight and having the vision to understand that and put things together like this game, these two, you know, Branch and the International League President, Randy Mobley, have been out in front of this for many, many years. Great leadership, great people, great friends of ours, of mine, of the game of baseball. Yeah, and I think when you look at baseball, minor league baseball really is something that Major League Baseball should take a look at what we do and emulate it a little bit more, I think. Now, their ego will never let them admit they need to do that, but you know, you see some of the things we do, and again, the leadership, Pat, Branch, and Randy, they're instrumental in making that happen. The President of the International League, Randy Mobley.
Thank you, Don. It's great to be with you. Was in Round Rock, Texas, another Pacific Coast League city here a few weeks back when we made an announcement, and I started off by saying, I'm here to represent the other guys. So I'll say that once again. I'm here to represent the other guys from the other league, the International League, but I'm thrilled to be here. Each one of those gentlemen who have preceded me said something I'd like to try to follow up on. First, Pat, you may or may not realize this. Pat is overseeing 16 leagues, 160 teams. So for him to be here with us today takes some effort in what you can imagine is a very, very busy schedule. And as Don said, Pat has been so very, very supportive of this event on behalf of minor league baseball from day one that we would not be in the position that we're in now if that were not the case and we didn't have that support from minor league baseball. So I'll just extend my thanks, Pat, for you being here and in that long-term support. Also, Don mentioned going back and Branch mentioned going back to the AAA World Series that was here. Don Logan, Rossi Rollencotter, the LVCVA, long history of supporting AAA baseball and this concept of a championship event. And without that, there's nothing Branch and I was going to do to make it happen. So those are very key individuals with Don, the LVCVA, a lot of history there, and we're very, very appreciative of that. This facility, I had an opportunity when we were here for the winter meetings in December to come out here and enjoy a hard hat tour. Wow, what a difference a few months makes. You could envision at that point in time it was going to be something special. But just in the few minutes that I've been here already, I had no idea it was going to be this special. I'm going to have the pleasure of staying around this evening and taking in the ball game. So I look forward to seeing everything that's there here. The event that we're talking about, when this ballpark hosts the event next year, it will be the 15th annual event. So we've got a little bit of history under our belt. It's an event that allows the community to be showcased. It allows our players and executives to come in, experience the community, experience the ballpark. It was said about how, Branch said how this is the talk of the Pacific Coast League. Well, I can tell you it's not only the talk of the Pacific Coast League, but it's the talk of the International League, and I think that Pat would probably agree it's the talk of minor league baseball. So it goes well beyond the local community, well beyond the league. I know our folks are excited about coming out here and actually seeing what is going on. And you know, in our industry, and Don would be the first to attest to this, before you undertake a project like this, you're going to visit another 10, 15 ballparks, the latest ones built throughout minor league baseball. You're going to grasp this and you're going to pull this. So all of those clubs that are looking to build a ballpark down the road are going to be bringing their notebooks, and they're going to want to get Don Logan's time to be able to hear all about what went into this, what's working, and what might do differently. So we're all excited about coming out here. You've heard that Ephesus Sports Lighting is our title sponsor. We're very thankful that Ephesus is going to be with us. We've got 2 new partners entering this year. One, this game's televised on Fox Sports this year from Memphis, and it will also be next year from here. And we also partner now with Ephesus Sports Lighting. And I'd like to introduce to you at this point in time James McCarty from Ephesus. Ephesus is a premier sports lighting company specializing in the LED transformation within ballparks, within arenas, and with all sorts of different sporting facilities. So it's nice to be with you. Thank you for coming out, and I'd like you to meet James McCarty.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you, AAA Baseball. On behalf of Ephesus Sports Lighting, I want to say that we are delighted to continue our support of AAA Baseball through the sponsorship of the National Championship Game, the 2020 National Championship Game here in Las Vegas. Played in Las Vegas, which happens to be my home as well. And really has to be one of the most beautiful ballparks in America. That we have an opportunity to play here and to be a part of this is exciting, and certainly hosted by a city that understands how to host a big event as well. So Ephesus Sports Lighting extends their congratulations to the ownership, to Don Logan and the Aviators for being chosen as the host. We're looking forward to a spirited baseball game and a really incredible experience here in 2020 with the National Championship Game. And again, on behalf of Ephesus, we thank you for this opportunity, and we appreciate being here. Thank you.
That's pretty much it for this portion of it, fellas. Jimmy's right there. He'll coordinate one-on-ones with all of these gentlemen. We are going to do what? You want to do a quick group photo right here, right? Okay, so we're going to do a photo, and then Jimmy, just work through him, and he'll set up the one-on-ones. He's right there. Where do you want us, Tom?